I had a Craftsman Murray rear engine rider. It's pretty rusty, pretty bad shape. I already used it for parts, pulled the entire steering assembly off of it for another riding mower, front axle, everything. So it did run. That was years ago. Shouldn't be a big deal to get running again. Not afraid of that, but the whole rear end transmission assembly is in good shape. So I was getting ready to strip it down. The mower deck's seized as well, the spindle seized, so pretty much worthless, besides the engine and transmission. But I was getting ready to strip down and set them aside, but I think I'm gonna make something out of it instead, and that way I can salvage. I still get to salvage the engine and transmission if I want, but turn it into something. I'm gonna cut it in. I think I'm gonna cut it in half. Cut it in half. Put another steering assembly from another riding mower on there that has a bad rear end. Maybe just turn it into a walk behind cart hauler or something. You know, 'cause it's got the trailer hitch and stuff on it. I don't know. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do. Guess I'll start cutting it in half. See what we can do. Okay, I think I'm just gonna start cutting it. I guess just right here, right behind this wall that's already there. Just cut it straight in half. I think I'm going to remove the seat. I haven't decided yet exactly what I'm going to do. Whether or not you'll just... I'm thinking it'd be nice just to have almost like a stand-up unit. So you put your foot over here and over here, or maybe turn the seat around, steer it somehow. I don't know. I'm going to start cutting it in half. Gonna be a stubby little thing. It's heavy though, actually. Virtually no weight on the front, it's all on this rear. It doesn't surprise me, but gonna be fun to see what it turns into. I'm gonna move the seat back to there. Put the steering right under there, pretty darn close to the back wheels. So the thing has virtually zero turning radius. Pulling the steering off of this. It's also a Craftsman. But that one had a bad tranny. But good steering, so there's the donor axle. This riding motor just lost its front end. Sitting right there. Just left it attached. Front part of the frame. Let's see what we can do. See what it looks like. Probably have to notch a little bit more of this, but it's getting close. Notch the frame a little bit more. So I want this axle way far back. Well, I got it tacked in place. I'm gonna flip it over, see how I like it. Just got it tacked in a couple places. Had a notch out. A couple places where there's actually ridges in the original frame. Got it lined up on there. Level this way and this way. Should be straight. Pretty close. Let's flip it over. Well, I got the steering wheel mounted. I took the whole steering assembly off the other Craftsman and I just got it mocked in place. Just cut it out. Well, I cut out the piece of the frame, and then it's bolted on with 4 bolts. You can see it's not held in place. It actually gets held in place by the dash. The dash is just mocked there, but you can see when you rotate that, it moves this little arm. So then I'll just take the original tie rod. If I can get that thing to balance. Where's the original? This is the original tie rod. And, well, let me put it back there. So I'll just take the original tie rod, run it through there, mount a spot on the, well, I guess that's a tie rod. No? It used to be called a drag link. Nope. Might have those backwards. I don't know. But I'll mount it onto the little lever. I'll mount a tab down on the tie rod end, So this will be the drag link. And I'll just cut this and weld them together where they need to be. So that'll move the wheel back and forth. Move the tires back and forth. I was going to narrow up the front end, but I actually think I like the wider front. I don't know. I'll find out. Well, so that's just sitting there. Not even bolted on. But I just barely. I actually haven't messed around with it for a while. I like the engine itself. I had it running a couple years ago, but it's been sitting forever. I know it's leaked down water through their filter. It pulls up in these little things, and there is actually a little bit of water in the oil. But I just barely cleaned out the carb, so I'm gonna fire it up for the first time, let it run for a second, then I'll drain all the oil.